What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. I'm once again joined by Degenerate Jay. Now, Jay and I have done a Kingdom Hearts video before. In fact, we did a couple videos. We did one on my channel. I've been on one of his videos. He's also done Kingdom Hearts content in general. So before we jump too far into it, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. I've been covering Kingdom Hearts, obviously, for a very, very long time. And then while you're at it, head to the description or a pinned comment, the pinned comment of this video. I'm going to link Jay's main channel and Jay's second channel. Jay's very passionate about Kingdom Hearts. Again, he's done quite a few videos, even without me, just on his own. So definitely give his channel a watch. And Jay, thank you so much for being on this video with me.
Hey man, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm super excited to do this. Well, since you shouted me out, I will say just very briefly, I just made, and when the day we recorded this, I put up a video about why Kingdom Hearts is so special to me. And I'm so happy with this video. It's like probably one of my crowning achievements that I've made. So I'm just like super hyped to get into this and talk about this now. I was in the mood all of yesterday, just like this was the one I'm waiting for.
There we go. So we want to talk about Riku. So if you guys have been watching this channel, I've talked about a lot of different aspects of Kingdom Hearts, but the last couple of weeks, and I try to make a Kingdom Hearts video around once a week. That's going to kind of be my goal going forward. We'll obviously increase it when Kingdom Hearts stuff happens, news, games, stuff like that. But the last couple of weeks, we talked about individual characters. For Kairi and Sora, we talked about do they need to fix them? For Kairi, I think a bigger case can probably be made. For Sora, I saw a lot of people that said, no, don't touch him. He's a good enough character. I was kind of talking about his intelligence, which I think people understood that as well. But let's do the trio here. So let's get the third character in there in Riku. But I don't want to talk about if they should fix him, because in my personal opinion, if he's not the best character, he's definitely up there. But I don't think there's any doubt in my mind he's easily the most developed. And Jay, this is something that you and I have talked about a lot, but considering I know you weren't in the videos with like Kairi and Sora, but Sora's got that personality to him that's been very consistent, and like that, his friendship or his strength and all that stuff, like that's made him such a powerful character. And I'm not saying, again, Riku's better or worse than any of these characters. Kairi obviously has, entire fan base dedicated to her. But I think out of all three of these, if Riku's not the best, he's 100% the most developed, right? He's gone through the most. His character is, it's not like one-dimensional. He doesn't always act the same, right? He actually has gone through quite a bit in his life, right? And I think it's really impacted him as a character, where I feel like he's easily kind of the most interesting out of all of these. So, Jay, what do you think about Riku? Do you think does he have strengths that other characters don't have? What do you think?
Well, I think that there's a lot to him that's interesting. I would say, not many people compare them, but he and Aqua, I always thought were the most developed characters in this franchise, which is definitely something powerful to say about Aqua as well, since she's only in a couple games. But those games are done so deeply. Riku's story does intertwine with hers a little bit, but his story is a little more mature. It's very interesting because it's sort of the Vader arc in a way. Jealousy, anger, leading to this very big mistake that kind of haunts him from multiple entries as he grows out of it. In a lot of ways, Sora is more developed than Riku for the original, one Chain of Memories, and then two. And then after two, Riku's development takes off while Sora's, I thought, kind of stayed where it was.
Totally.
And that's kind of the weird thing for me. I don't want to get too far into the topics you already covered, but you have the trio. You have Kairi, who I love, but is underused and really needs to step out into the spotlight. I think she deserves her own game.
Yep.
You have Riku, who has been developed over this entire time now, every entry, and he's been getting better and better and more deep, to the point where he's more intelligent than Sora. On his own, he's more capable, but Sora's more powerful because of his bonds, like you said.
Right.
And then you have Sora, who has these intelligence issues, which didn't used to really be a thing, and they started coming up in Dream Drop Distance. And so you have Riku, and I would say that one thing that's the most powerful with him that you and I talked about is he has the most consistent writing throughout the entire franchise. Yes, he doesn't always act the same, but you can even see the difference between him in 3, where you see the replica and stuff like that, and how much he's changed. I think that that's what's so strong about him, is this is a character who has consistently gotten new arcs and new development and directions over the course of the entire franchise.
No, totally. Yeah, I think, and that's an important note. You know, when you look at Replica Riku and you look at, when Xehanort like possessed his body, right? All those things is like you can. There's that history there, or when you reference it in these past games, like you said, where I think again Riku's story and his character really took off the most, right? And it's kind of because you see where he was, and now you see where he is now, and you're like, Jesus, you know, I mean, like you went through so much, and you're not one dimensional. You have so much to you. You're kind of conflicted in some ways, but then you're very passionate. And I mean, you look at even, I know obviously this is a main thing for you in Kingdom Hearts 3, right, Jay, with the whole Sora breaking down when like all of his friends were being just sucker punched in the face by the Heartless. And I think both of us don't really like that scene all that much. Riku is the one who steps up and is like, are you out of your goddamn mind, Sora? Like, wake up. Like, this is who you are. So he's become a character that means a lot to Sora, means a lot to Kairi, but means a lot to, just in general. He's kind of even there now as like a wake-up call to these characters. And he's also a character that goes to save these characters. I mean, obviously, Sora and Kairi are ever destined to never be like next to each other ever again, right? Because they're always looking for each other. But I mean, Riku's been put in that situation where he's had to bring characters back before. And I just feel like you look at it, and even what Jay said, Sora, again, like I think what makes Sora special is maybe more special than all the characters, okay? Like what Sora stands for and all that. And people, you guys had said that even in last week's video. I do agree. And Kairi, like Jay said, and we've even talked about that, right? That is what needs to change. Kairi needs to become more powerful. They'll do that. I think her training with Aqua, they'll get there. But she's been very underused, even though she's a really solid character, actually, right? And she kind of stands for good as well, in same-ish ways as Sora. But Riku, I don't know, there's just something about him that's just... Because Sora has been so consistent, and I guess that consistency is kind of his strength, it's also been a weakness. You know what I mean? Where it's like he's been always kind of the same. Where, again, when you look at Riku and you say, man, he went through all, like Jay said, like he's always had these issues, and he had to fight through quite a bit, and he was gone for quite a while. Even in like the first game, he's barely in it. You know what I mean? So I think he's got, by a mile, the best character development, and like looking at Kingdom Hearts 3, even like the beginning, middle, end, all the stuff that even happens in 3, there's no denying, I think, that he is still the best character.
Yeah, what's interesting is that you really start to see Riku's character develop in Chain of Memories. When he has to claw his way out of the darkness, essentially, and go through the lower levels of Castle Oblivion. One thing that separates Riku, I think, from Sora is, in a way, they're opposites. Like, friendship matters to both of them, clearly, but Sora is able to find it everywhere while Riku isn't. Sora connects with everyone, and you kind of see that Riku has a hard time with connecting with everyone. Sora has friends in every world, essentially, and you even see it in Dream Drop Distance when he meets Neku from The World Ends With You. I was blanking for a second, and he essentially says, because I just replayed through the beginning of this game the other day for some footage, and he says, well, we're friends now, and Neku says, oh, now we're friends all of a sudden? It's not that easy. And Sora says, well, you can make it easier. To Sora, it's very easy to bond with people and open his heart to people, and Riku has gone through a lot of pain and suffering, especially in the first game. The people that he trusted right away, like trying to trust or use Maleficent to get his goals, didn't work. He tried to open himself up to more power through Xehanort, didn't work. He tried to, essentially then he had to, all on his own without Donald and Goofy or any friends, go through Castle Oblivion. And so he's very used to being isolated. He finally meets up with the real Ansem. They kind of become friends-ish. And that's about it until he gets, more close with Mickey later on. And so that's kind of the thing, is that Riku is very solitary and confined. I also think that does connect with a lot of people. I know that, for example, someone like me, not to get too far into myself, I've always wanted to be more like Sora, where you are more open to new people and new experiences, but Riku is very introverted. And I think that that's connected with a lot of people, especially people who have had bad friendship experiences or bad experiences in their life, that there's sort of these things to aspire to and places you can be and can be going. Like, Riku is still powerful, even though he has had to live this life, a lot of it by himself. But, everybody wants to be more like Sora too. And Riku does have that loner powerful vibe to him that I think really connects with players too.
You can more realize or like expect what Riku's going to do in a different, not like entirely, because you kind of know he's going to be a straight shot in a way, but you don't really know which way he's going to go. You know what I mean? Because he's not. I don't want to call Sora one-dimensional, but because, again, Sora has his personality to him, Riku is a little bit more unpredictable in, he's not maybe always going to do the most obvious thing or the most purely good thing, but he's going to do maybe what he feels he needs to do in the moment. And again, I think more than anything, I mean, ultimately these are all opinions, right? You may like Kairi more, you may like Xehanort more, you could go through a long list, right? I think that Riku has a lot to like about his character. I think he's been probably through the most, although Sora and Kairi have like gone on and off of like dying and not dying like 1,000 times. Riku has gone through quite a bit. So again, going back to the phrase in the beginning, I don't know necessarily, obviously it's opinions. I don't know if we can say he's the best character, but in my opinion, he's the most developed. So guys, let us know in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think about Riku? What do you think about his journey? Also, let me know in the comments if there's any other characters you want to talk about. I mean, at this point, we've made it a trilogy. We've made it a 3-video series. I'd like to talk about other characters if you guys want me to, so let me know in the comments. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed here, have the bell icon turned on, and check out Jay's channel. Again, as we're just talking, he's going to have a video going up very soon. So he's had Kingdom Hearts videos gone up. I did a video with him on his own channel, so make sure you guys show him some support. That stuff will be in the description and the pinned comment. Jay, thank you so much for being on this video.
Hey man, thanks for letting me rant about Kingdom Hearts. I always love it. It's always
the
fun.
best. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all on the next video.